Hi, and welcome to this episode of John's Motorcycle Rescue and Review. Alright guys, I am super stoked. The season of the breakfast rides has officially started here in Pennsylvania. It is April 7th, the first Sunday of April, and I am headed over to the Ephrata Breakfast Ride in Ephrata, Pennsylvania. And there's always a great crowd there. There's always lots of nice bikes. It's a little bit cool this morning, but it promises to be a fine day. And I'm excited to get over there and see what is going on and what bikes there are. Today I'm taking over my 1981 GS 1100E. I have recently put a brand new Avon front tire on this bike, and so it'll be a nice shakedown run for that. And hopefully on the way home I'll get to hit some twisties and enjoy the day and enjoy a nice ride there and back. All right, enough talk. Let's go check out what's at the show. Let's ride.
I got to the show a little bit early as people were filing in and the parking lot was filling up. And one of the first bikes to catch my eye was this beautiful 1990 FJ1200. It was in very nice condition, and it also happened to be for sale. You can see the information here if that's something that you're interested in. And I just thought this was such a beautiful machine. I was looking at the differences between this one and my 1986 FJ1200. I noticed on a 1990 bike that it does have a 17-inch front wheel. It also has different brake calipers on the front end of it. Just down the road from the FJ1200 was this beautiful $12.99 Ducati Panigali. And there were so many trick parts on this bike, and it was also very tastefully done. I really liked the overall effect of it. I love the red with the gold highlights. You can see in this picture some of the modifications done, like the clear clutch cover. It also looks like custom foot pegs on it. Even the single-sided swing arm and the rear wheel were just pieces of art. What a gorgeous bike. As I went around the bottom of the parking lot, there were a lot of cool machines down that way, and I spied another beautiful Italian motorcycle. This time it was an Aprilia RSV. And again, there's just a ton of custom parts on this bike, and I just thought it was so eye-catching in the color scheme and the design of the overall machine. I know I mainly feature classic bikes on this channel, but these two Italian machines were just so beautiful. Walking back up the hill, it was just cool to see the different groups of motorcycles that came together. Here we have a lineup of Yamaha Street Fighters. Getting into the classic Japanese bikes, I just thought this first generation CBR 600 was so cool. It was a nice bike, and it seemed to be in pretty decent condition as well. This bike is a bit of an oddball from Suzuki. It's the XV800. It featured the 800cc liquid-cooled V-twin motor out of their Intruder 800, but it was made into a standard style chassis, and it featured shaft final drive. I would definitely like to ride one of these someday if I get the chance. It's a neat machine. Another oddball V-twin shaft drive machine from Japan is this Honda Ascot 500. This one was done up like a scrambler. It's got the high mount exhaust on it and the knobby tires, and I just thought it was a neat looking bike. I can't believe this bike is a classic already, but this is an RC51 from Honda, and this one is just in beautiful condition. I've previously owned a first year RC51, and that bike is truly a homologation special, and it is literally a race bike with lights. It is a very hardcore bike to ride on the street. The RC51 was in amongst a group of other sport bikes. I thought this white ZX10 was a real standout as well. I really like the design of it and the color scheme, and it looks like it's got a couple of tasteful mods on it. Moving on to the German bikes, there were quite a few BMWs there. I thought this K1200 sported a really unique color scheme on it. I've previously owned a K1200 as well. It's just a fast, comfortable, mileage-eating machine. I really like the clean design of this R90, and I was surprised at how small this bike looks in person, and I think it would be a really fun bike to try out if it didn't have the sidecar on it. It's so cool to see older bikes like this in such nice condition. Another standout at the show was this first year R100 RS BMW. The color on it itself is very unique. This particular bike only had 1,968 miles on it, so it is a very low mileage unit. It had been sitting for many years before the current owner got it back on the road. Back in the mid-70s when this bike debuted, it was touted as having the most efficiently designed sport touring fairing ever fitted to a bike. And most of these bikes have very high miles on them, and they were used as sport touring bikes and touring bikes, and I've always thought these were a cool looking machine. A couple of other cool touches on the first year bikes were the blue anodized brake calipers. I thought that was really neat. And the spoked wheels themselves actually have a blue pinstripe around the rim.
All right, man, what a fun time. Lots of great bikes, lots of great people. It was really nice to catch up with some friends at the breakfast ride and to meet some new people as well. And hopefully, as a result of some of the contacts made, there will be some more great classic bike content coming up in the future. So stay tuned for that. If you're like me and you like classic bikes from the 70s, 80s, and 90s, please feel free to like and subscribe. I feature lots of great classic bike content on this channel. As always, I hope you found this video entertaining and informative, and until next time, enjoy the ride.